Welcome to another version of TMG Talks. Today is a special one, and as you can see, we've got a room full of lovely ladies. Today's topic is the juggle is real, and that's exactly what it is. So we're going to talk all things juggling. And first of all, we're just going to introduce ourselves. So, Lauren.
I'm Lauren Tebb from L&K Financial, and I've been a mortgage broker for around 9 years.
I'm Kayleigh from L&K Financial, the K of L&K Financial, and I've been a broker for about 9-10 years now.
I'm Beth from Wildman Mortgages, and I've been a broker for about 5-6 years.
Hi, I'm Nadine Tippell from Uplift Financial Services, and I've been in the mortgage industry for around 14 years.
Hi, I'm Kayleigh from Milton House Mortgage Protection, and I've been in the industry for 2 years now.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I've been a mortgage advisor.
Me too. We couldn't just leave that up. So, ladies, we're just going to start as a bit of a basic platform, and hopefully, us all being ladies, we're not going to have lack of things to talk about. So, first of all, I'd like to ask, and I'm going to go to Kayleigh to start with. Yes. So I'd like to ask, how did you end up in the industry, and was it something that just naturally happened, or was it planned?
Wasn't planned. It was one of those. I worked at a bank, which I kind of fell into. It was never planned to work in a bank. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Offered a job somewhere, I will take it. And then it was one of those that I worked there for 6 or 7 years. And my line manager at the time kind of said, you're not passing any mortgage referrals over, you have to pass business between the bank. And I was like, I'm 20 years old, I don't know what a mortgage is, like this is alien to me, I don't understand the language. So he was like, okay, well, why don't you get your CMAP and you can learn it. But it was a bit extreme, but that's what I did. And then I went and got my CMAP, and obviously when you work in the bank, you can only advise on bank products, and for me it was just, my time there was done. So then I went off and found a mortgage broking job, but I pretty much went into it because I knew nothing about it.
Good.
Extreme.
Yeah. Sometimes the best way, I think. Sometimes if it's not your plan, and you're not forcing yourself to kind of try and get there a bit quicker or within a time scale.
Yeah.
Somebody has already made the decision for you, I guess.
Well, that was it. And it's one of those that I think when you're young and you're learning what you want to do as a career, you don't know what a mortgage is. At what point do you think that's what I want to do? Because you don't know you've got no idea. Your parents don't talk to you about their mortgage because why would they? So it's not, I don't know, it's not something, I don't think, tell me if I'm wrong, but someone would ever wake up at 10 years old and think, that's what I want to do for my job, is it? So it's one of them that you kind of don't know about it until you work within it.
Yeah.
He to this day thinks that he made my career decision. I'm not going to give him satisfaction. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Going off that as a bit of a tangent, and this wasn't one of the questions that I'm going to ask because you brought it up. How important do we think it is within a school to learn about mortgages? My kids are at an age where they're in year 10, so they're 15-year-old, and only because I've explained to them what a mortgage is, they wouldn't have a clue, or debt, or credit cards, or anything like that. I'll fire this one across to you, Kayleigh. What do you feel like it should be in schools?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why it's not. It's like, in this day and age, how are we not teaching children about debt, finances, how to progress in life with your mortgage? I mean, my son, my 16-year-old, because I've explained it, my dad is in property, my sister started her buy-to-let business, and I'm obviously now in mortgages, so he's like, right, how are you all doing this? What's going on here? How do you do it? What do I need to do? And he's really paying an interest. And I think if we just sparked that interest in schools, those that then could want to progress in the future have got all the ability, the knowledge to go out there and do it.
I don't think, like you said, Kayleigh, if the knowledge is not there, why would they want it to be their career path?
It's just not something you know about, is it? And I think even with not just mortgages, but like credit scores, I never understand why those things aren't talked about at school, or even maybe at kind of college age, because it's those things that when someone is in a relationship and wants to buy their first house, it's those things from 5 years ago that are then affecting them.
Back to bite them.
Yeah, because you don't know about it back then.
They've no clue, have they?
No.
Literally no clue on your credit file. Like, that's one of the most important things as you you get older. But yeah,
And they're always silly things from when you were young, or an
Just because
overdraft.
they don't know.
Yeah.
And the cases at the minute are all this. I mean, it's probably 80% adverse. But
Mhm.
I was just going to say, a couple of years ago, before I set up Wildman Mortgages, I actually did a careers day at my old high school. Very humbling, but the knowledge is just absolutely not there. I remember thinking, right, I need to do this more often. Obviously, life takes over, which leads to the podcast. But things just got in the way. But it's definitely something that we need to kind of do more of. Totally. And if you don't have that, like my dad's in property, and it's always something we've talked about.
Yep.
If you don't have that home life, you're starting on the wrong foot completely.
Yeah, and if it's not in your family,
Yeah,
use
why
it.
should you be penalised and not just because you're not open to the kind of knowledge? We need that more than we need Pythagoras.
It's funny because I do hear more often than not, like, I just fell into it. I fell into advising.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite a common theme, isn't it? Across. Would I say across to you guys? You say that?
Yeah.
I was really boring and wanted to do finance.
No.
I know. This is so boring. It's because
you're achieving a dream.
something like that. It's only because when I was younger, I realised I was never going to be a singer or an actress. So I was like, got to get the dream to an achievable level. Mine was more about people, though. I wanted to work with people and help people. I knew I didn't have it in me to be like an amazing nurse, or like, that's just not something that I felt like I could emotionally cope with. But I thought that I could do something that I could help them in like a different way. And I've always been interested in numbers and things. So I ended up going into it from just going into a building society and like working my way up that way, very similar to you. And then finding my way to mortgages that way.
So from your perspective, somebody that wanted to do it, and maybe you didn't necessarily know what that looked like, but you wanted to do it, what's something you wish you knew before you did start?
Good question.
Oh, good question. I think maybe what like the day-to-day of the job looks like.
Yeah.
So I think before you start any career, you don't really know what the reality is. I think that would have been good for me to understand what that actually looks like. And actually with mortgages, it is about helping people and understanding needs. It's also a very sales driven job. And I've worked with companies and been employed in things before in the mortgage industry as well. And it's different cultures within mortgage advice. So I think of definitely understanding what it actually looks like on a day to day, so you can see what kind of like route that looks like into that career. Yeah.
That leads very nicely onto the next point. What the hell is balance?
I'm not sure.
You can tell us.
Is there a secret?
If there is, I don't know. I'll come to you, Lauren, with that one. What's your balance? What does your day-to-day life look like in terms of balancing around work and home life?
Boundaries.
And dogs.
Is there such a thing as balance? I don't know. I think one of the perks of being self-employed is that you have more opportunity for balance. So you can do the things that, you might have to go to your manager and ask for time off to go to a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment. You don't have to do that when you're self-employed, which really helps. But then it's about, if you are taking an hour out of the day in the morning, tacking it on to the end of the day. And I think our job as well is a lot around other people's working hours. So you might have a lot of clients who are working 9 to 5 and therefore then want to speak to you at 8 o'clock at night or 7:30 at night. I know. But it's about fitting that in. So if you've got a day where you've got an appointment at 7 o'clock at night, do you start a little bit later, just to make sure that you're not burning yourself out? If you're doing that every single day. I know when me and Kayleigh first started working together years and years ago in the industry, we used to work just an inordinate amount of hours to try and get everything done that we needed to do. There was a lot of pressure to make sure that you were hitting targets and everything else, and it's just not sustainable to do
horrendous.
that.
It must be hard to not then lose the love of it a little bit.
I very much did back then.
It was tough to... So Lauren and I worked together many moons ago, and we it was good because we had each other at the same time and it was always, there were times where you'd say, Kayleigh, I can't do this, and I'd be like, just keep going.
Yeah, support.
And it's having someone there when we're in the same boat. We'd be sat there in the office till 8 o'clock at night, ordering food,
Go to the wine bar after.
getting the wine afterwards, and then crashing.
Yeah, needed it after that.
Standard. Sometimes we'd order it to the office, but it was just one of those. Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do. But it was just that constant, and it did then get to the time where you would crash, and that's not good. So we have a new broker working with us currently, and we keep saying the same to her, don't we? And there'll be times she's like, "Oh, I'm just doing my admin, and it's 8:00 at night," and we're like, "No, do it tomorrow. Let's pick it up tomorrow."
Yeah.
We just had a kind of don't do what we did sort of thing.
there.
Don't do it, because it's
Learn from our mistakes.
you have to do those evening appointments, and you have to do those things. But like Lauren said, I think I'm very much, I'll book my nail appointments in the middle of the day. I'm having my hair done. I'm taking the dog for a walk. Whatever it looks like, you have to set those boundaries, or you will sit at your desk from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day, every weekend, and whatever else. And that's not good for you, but then it's not good for the clients, because are you really giving them the right service?
Yeah.
No.
If you're burnt out, then you're no good to anybody, really.
It comes across, doesn't it, the way you're talking, that you've had enough.
You're telling yourself as well when you get into that point where you're like, I'm not giving this 100%. I need to take a step back and just rest, or, you know, do something that's not work related.
And I think that comes in a lot of ways. Sometimes I just find myself getting up from my desk for what might be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or just have a walk to top of town or whatever it may be, and come back and reset. So I think it can come in all different sizes and elements of what you do, just to, right, I'm back in the zone, I'm back there, and then your clients are going to get the best outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Nadine? Because obviously you've got children in the mix as well.
Yeah. So my balance looks like managing school commitments with mortgage advice, but actually it works quite well for me, because it means I can be present for all of the demands of being a parent, and there's many reading days and Easter parades and Easter bonnets and whatever else I've had to do in the last couple of weeks. But it's nice to like see their little faces and be there, be present for them. But also it allows me to work around them as well. So I can still do school pickups. I can still like have dinner with them every night. So I choose to work like during the day till like 4, and then I have a break between 4 and like, depends on bedtimes, but like 7, half 7. I'm very lucky. I have a very supportive husband, so he does a lot of evening, like putting kids to bed and things, but I do a lot of evening appointments. But I've had to put a boundary in place, because it is very easy to want to be available to everybody all of the time, but you're trying to spin so many plates that at some point someone's got to give. And what normally happens is that I'm the one that gives, or I don't put my children to bed for like 4 days in a row, and then it's like, well, where's the line with that? Because they want me there, and it's like, you've got to be everything to everyone, haven't you? So I tend to do now like 2 evenings normally a week where I'll do like evening appointments. But I live in like a little village, so I actually go out to evening appointments as well. So I go and see people at their houses and stuff, and do like face-to-face appointments and things to like try and help them as well, because a lot of my customers are like me, and they have children. They work like 9 till 5, then have like children, like you were saying, like putting like them to bed and stuff, and then they want to be available in the evening. So it's nice to be able to do that, but you do have to kind of put some sort of boundary in place. But that boundary is a little bit of a wobbly line, because
Flexible boundary.
Do you know though, that's what I quite like. Like previous to this, I was in a police control room, so I had to do 12-hour shifts. And if I was on shift and something was happening at school, that's it. I can't go.
Yeah.
If somebody else has already booked that holiday that day, you can't go and you miss out. Whereas here, I can arrange my appointments to make sure that I do get to go to that. And yes, I might have to work a few evenings later, but that's my choice, because I managed to get 100%. To go to that. And lots of football games, unfortunately. I'm a football mum.
So am I.
Yeah,
I've got the coat.
That's hard work. But if I want to go and watch a game on the Saturday, which I definitely obviously I want to go and watch the game on Saturday, then I'm there. But Saturday afternoon, really when it's raining and cold, I love it. But Saturday afternoon, if I need to book an appointment in, I can do it Saturday afternoon. And that's what I think. There is balance, and that line is wobbly, but actually I think that can be quite a good thing as well.
Definitely agree.
I feel like it's really tricky, because I feel like it's discipline in both ways when you're very self-employed. It's discipline because you've suddenly got the freedom, if you like, in a way, hear me out, to kind of, that you wouldn't necessarily get when you're in an employed role, but discipline to keep yourself on track.
Yeah.
So you're making your business work and, doing whatever it is you need to do. And then when you get to the point where things are ticking over and you're busy, it's the discipline to then set the boundary when to switch off. And it's really tricky. It's like, when do you know when you've crossed that line? I think it brings us on really nicely to our first statement. And you've set this up for me really well. What do you think, and I'm going to come to you, Beth, you've been quiet over there, of the statement, I'll only work 9 till 5?
Yeah, no.
Without swearing.
I'm trying. Before I open my mouth. I think, well, in relation to what you've been saying, I don't think I'm honestly at that point of that juggle being right. I don't think I've got the flow at all. I think I'm busier the past. 2026 has been mental, absolutely mental. And I think you can see with, how my figures have changed from 2025 to 2026. I don't know if that's because I had a newborn with most of that, so it was all a little bit, that did take priority, but I think...
Oh, as if that's just something small.
It
might have been that.
So I don't know if it's how, the business, I've got busier because I can take on more, but I just think I don't say no, ever. So yeah, the 9 to 5 doesn't happen, so every week is quite literally completely different, but I've got my set days that I work when the girls are at nursery. And then we have Thursday where we're together. I usually still end up working anyway. And I don't think... I need to find something that kind of makes me realise work is always going to be there. But like I said to you earlier...
It's hard though, isn't it? It's not
it's
that
so
easy.
hard.
It's not that easy.
Like, I'm always waiting for this bubble to pop and I just think, it's just one more case. And then I think...
10 cases in.
Yeah, what is going on here? And so I don't think I've quite found that balance. I'm hoping it will come with time. But honestly, my 9 to 5 is... I submitted a case at 3 a.m. the other night just because I woke up and I realised I had so much to do. I got up because my little one was crying. Anyway, she went back to sleep and it's absolutely fine. I thought, no, wait, I might as well start work. Matthew came down and I was like, sorry.
Consider yourself told.
Yeah. So it's such a fine line, and that fine line for me is not distinguishable at the moment. It's just throwing it where you can.
I think it's what we personally find rewarding as well, a little bit different for all of us. The thing about like the going to school, or you're going to say play or sports day or whatever it is, even mine up until like this year, my children have just done their year 10 parents' evening. And they were that proud of themselves. If I'd have not been there, it would have literally like broken.
Oh,
they couldn't they nearly had me in an headlock if I'd have started. It would have literally been like, yes, mum, you are. But then it takes it right back to when they were 5 in primary school, and they're all on field with the teachers like they are, running mayhem, all little kids, and then they see you and like the face lights up, and you just think, you know what, that's why we have to try and work.
That is everything, and I'm not saying I jeopardise their childhood or anything. Don't show me. Like erase it from everything. So I'm not missing anything like that, but I also don't have that wind down. I don't have that relaxing time, and the one thing that does kind of slip is, I guess, Matthew. That's the one thing that I go, well,
he's all right.
I'll pick him up later, we'll be fine. It's just, but he's very understanding. But something's got to give in at the minute. It's sanity. He needs sleep. Yeah.
I think there is a bit of misconception about the whole self-employed thing, though, isn't there? You get so much freedom. It'd be nice to have that flexibility there, and you think.
Don't get holiday pay.
You don't get holiday pay. You don't see what then goes into it. Or like getting up at 3 a.m. And I haven't got children. I don't know how you do it. Hats off to you. But it's like you're constantly thinking about where's the next client coming from? Oh, what did we do that? Oh, rates are changing tomorrow. Did I submit that case? Or obviously we've got brokers and things working for us. Oh, have we done that? Have we checked in with them? Did we do their one-to-ones and all of those things? It's a constant, even if you're not physically at your laptop working.
Oh, it's the brain.
You don't switch off.
Yeah.
You don't
it's
switch
a
off.
mentally exhausting role.
That flexibility.
I mean, when you're employed for somebody else and not in the mortgage industry, but you'll go to work, you do your job, you come home, you switch off.
Clock off,
The amount of times since being in mortgages that I've woke up at 2 a.m. Did I?
Yeah,
did I send that letter? Did I do
and
this?
Then they go and do it.
I've done it. And why am I waking myself up? It is your brain just doesn't stop ever. Your brain doesn't get the break.
And they're working from home. But, like, you need to shut the door on your office. My office, you walk through.
Yeah.
So the door's never shut.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, just pop in here. I'll just do this. I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Throw the laptop
Kids
out the window.
scrolling through while you're trying to do a Teams call or something, and they're
Yes.
like
Oh,
finding it
that's
hilarious to
situations where
crawl
you-
through the floor.
I
You're
used to
like,
pre-warn my children, like, okay, I'll be working at home on this day.
Yeah.
When you come in from school, it's not necessarily mean that I'm not going to be on a Teams call. So you need to, like, be really careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a challenge to them though. They're like, right, what can we get through without them noticing? Like, yeah, they don't mind, don't listen.
Speaking of misconceptions of being self-employed, because it's a really good point, and I speak to inquiries fairly regularly, new to industry, wanting to enter the industry, and they might be working another job currently, or they've got other stuff going on, and I'm like, try and make it really clear how much of a commitment this is, how much work you need to put in to generate new leads, and so on and so forth. And it's like, oh yeah, but I'll just do it around my other job. And it's really hard to make this industry accessible for new to industry on a self-employed basis.
It's hard.
But those conceptions of, oh, I'll just do 9 till 5, or I'll just do it in the evening even, they're really, really common. Really, really common.
And I think I've had people that would have approached me in the past, like, oh, I'd love to do your job, or you're doing well, you do this, you do that, and you think, you've got no idea. I was crying all night last night. No idea. But you do the things because you care about your clients, and I think we've got to a point now, obviously, that we've built those relationships with our clients. You genuinely care about those people as they're your friends, or as if they were a family member, and those rates increasing tonight, if you don't get that rate submitted, their payments increase the next day. You care about getting that in on time and doing it, so you have to move
So
that.
that's your cycle, isn't it? Where
Exactly.
you're always doing more, and then it's like, you
There's
like
no-
say everything to everyone. Yeah.
Absolutely. I do think there is that thing where someone outside looking in would be like, oh, that's great, you do this, or you do a mortgage with someone and they'll go, how did you get into that? How can I get into it? And you just think,
So someone asks the question.
my advice is don't.
It's like, well, why? Why have you done your exams? Why do you want to enter the industry? Because it's really flexible, and I can do it around this,
Yeah.
do it around that. I'm like,
No.
And those first few years, like Lauren was saying, that slog for the first few years,
2 years. I
when
think.
you're starting building your client base up and it's up and down, and you think, oh, there's been a great month this month or a bad month the next month. It's so hard to change your mentality and get your head around how that actually works until it then pays off and it starts kind of coming. But those few years are
We touched on it earlier,
tough.
and that's what sets aside the successful advisors and the not so successful advisors in terms of you've got to be fully aware of what them first year, 18 months, 2 years it's going to look like.
Yeah.
You've got to do that to be successful.
Yeah, because if you've got a misconception of that, especially if you're coming in and you're not going under a firm, so you might not necessarily add any lead source, what's your plan? And that's kind of what we bring into, or you bring into your initial calls to do with recruitment, is we have to ask the question. So what is your 3-month plan, 6-month plan, 12-month plan? More because we need to know what we need to do in the background to support you and to get you there, and not lead you down a path where you just think these leads are just going to fall on my lap. Yeah. Because Kayleigh was speaking earlier, I mean, you August
last year I started my own AR,
How you find the whole lead situation going from scratch?
It's hard. I'm not going to lie, it is hard. And you put your social media out there. And I was just saying earlier to the ladies, I did my first TikTok. I was like, yes, 2,000 views. And then the next one, it's like 200 views. And you're like, oh, God, okay.
everyone hates me.
Yeah, why am I not getting out? Why am I not viral? I don't understand. But it's hard. And I've had a lot of support with friends and family. That's been great. And I'm just now seeing, I'm 8 months in. I'm just now seeing inquiries from Facebook. Oh, I've seen you on Facebook, or I've seen you on this, or I've seen you on that. And that's where you think, right, okay, let's keep this going. But it's the reality that I'm not just a mortgage advisor, a protection advisor. I've now got to manage social media.
So content.
Yeah, like you've got to wear so many hats to do it. It's not going to work. And I think everyone I've spoken to, they have all said, if you can make it through your first 2 years, and you'll be good. So I'm keep going. I am going, and I just keep plugging away at it. But it's hard. Sometimes you think, and you'll get a phone call, you'll get a lead, and they might not come to you, and you think, oh my God, you take it quite personally. What did I do wrong? Why didn't...
You've probably just got someone through an estate agent.
Yeah,
it's
just
hate
because...
the service and have a really bad memory.
Yeah.
Don't dwell on
They'll
it.
probably come back to you in about 3 weeks, so don't worry.
It's all gone wrong.
They've gone to the new build who said you have to use our advisor. That one.
That old chestnut.
Don't dwell on things like that.
No,
that does get easier.
Yeah, I think I'm learning that as I go on, and it is, I mean, the support is one major thing that you need from your network, from other brokers. I mean, we have a great WhatsApp group, don't we? And sometimes even in like the Facebook pages, I know there's Women in Mortgages, I'll just pop something on there, and even though I know that I've done the right thing maybe, but somebody else has maybe tried to, I mean, there was a little thing about social media posts, we won't go into that, but I just popped it on Women in Mortgages, and I was like, guys, like, look what's just happened to me, this unnecessary comment on my Facebook, and then the flood of support that you get, and then that gives you the boost to keep going, keep posting your social media. Don't listen to those little negatives that you get. It keeps you sane. It keeps you sane. It just gives you that. You keep going. You've got it. It's fine. So it's the first few years are hard.
Also, when you work at home on your own and you're like a one-woman band and you're wearing all those hats, but you are actually on your own, and you can quite easily become isolated. I think having those like different forums and it definitely takes a village to help launch a business, as well as it does with kids. You need that village regardless of what you're doing in life. So I think like it's very isolating, especially like if you're new to industry as well, like how like going to new to industry and also being home on your own, unless you reach out and look for support, you would find that would be really difficult. And I've been doing it years, but I still need that support, like just to be able to like, can I just run this by you? Like, you need that person, don't you, just to like soundboard off. Definitely.
We spoke about it earlier, didn't we, Beth? Sometimes we don't necessarily even want anything, or Beth doesn't want anything.
She's ringing because I need to just go.
Oh, she's had a rant. Someone listen to me, please.
She listens, goes, right, you feel better now? Yeah. See you there next week. And it does help, and that's what's great about you guys at TMG, definitely, because you do. I was saying, I don't even know what I'm trying to say sometimes, but you know, and I go, oh yeah.
That's what I needed.
Sometimes you have to say it out loud for it to then make sense in your head. And
then I'm like, okay, I'll carry on with the rest of my day.
Daniel's like,
she's like, okay.
Honestly, she just sees the name pop up and probably goes, not this again.
It was funny a few weeks ago, and I'm just telling this because it's probably no relevance, but it's funny, so I can. Beth rang me, and it were after working hours or working hours.
What's our working
what's
working
hours?
And I picked up, and I was like, "You're right," and I went, "Yeah." And I was like, "The office is now closed, Beth. Bye." What can I help you with? She went, "I'm so sorry." I went, "I'm kidding." I was like, "How can I help?" Anyway, so we'd had that conversation, and then literally half an hour later, she rang me back and went, "It's me again."
It's like 8 p.m. Sorry, I haven't checked the time. It's
probably just laughing.
Time goes so fast though, doesn't it? Like, I'm like, oh my goodness, like
that phrase when you have kids. What is it? The days are long, but something like that. Days are short, but the weeks are something like that. Everything is short. Everything is short. I didn't have enough time to do anything.
I don't even get 36 hour day.
Talking about support then, so the next statement, and I'm going to, Nadine, because we spoke briefly about it earlier, admin won't take that long.
Oh, don't we all love admin? Admin is a necessity in our job because we have to be compliant, we're regulated, authorised, we have to make sure that we do it. But as someone that loves to deal with people and be speaking to them and helping them, admin is never the fun part of my job.
Agreed.
And the quicker that I can progress my business so that I can have a lovely PA that I can work alongside, the better. It's just the document checking and on the lenders for like 45 minutes and then get cut off. You get on the phone and you're like 47 minutes and then they pick up and then they hang up. Like, what is that? Or they're like, I can't hear you. I'm like, oh my I'm literally on the brink today. Just answer my question. Or like the web chat thing. It's like, we know that you're important to us. Do you? Because you're not answering it. This is not enough people.
It's about being close enough to your network as well, because this is what we picked up on earlier, and knowing what they can offer internally or support-wise or whatever it may be. And Nadine's potentially looking at our internal admin services, which is a great step for you then to get. It's like a stepping stone before you get to want to employ your own admin kind of thing.
Yeah, because you take an employee on, there's so much to think about. Like you have staff, don't you?
Yeah,
for you,
genuinely changed our business when we took. It's called them our girls. They're my, I have got children, but they genuinely changed the way our business ran. So Lauren and I, obviously, in our first year, it was. Lauren and I have been friends for a long time, and we were friends, and then we had to learn to communicate as business partners, and year one was tough. Anyway, we made it through, and then we were like at the point where we were busy, the leads were coming in. We can't be the advisor we want to be because we're spending the time on hold to lenders, solicitors, doing all of that rubbish, but we also need to give. We've always given our clients that service, so that's what they expect and that's what they deserve. So genuinely taking our admin on was the best thing we did, and we trust them with everything. So we will take a client on, we'll obviously speak to them, advise on the mortgage, the protection, and then we pass over to our lovely girls who then honestly build such a relationship with them.
That's lovely.
To the point where one of the girls will say, oh, such and such is completed, and we're like, oh, how does that happen? But that we get such good feedback for them as well, that it's genuinely changed our business, that we can go and do what we do and run a business and do all of that, and they do what they do, and they do it very, very bloody well. And we always wanted to have that as a baseline before we took other brokers on, because there was no point in taking brokers on unless we had that baseline. And yeah, they're incredible, aren't they? Amazing.
I need one of them.
They're incredible.
Find me one.
We're going to
Can we borrow them?
let's take hands off.
And we did start with something like, I think what you guys offer, where an admin that worked for different companies,
Ad hoc.
like an ad hoc pay per case kind of thing, and very quickly just from doing that realised actually we need someone within the business that will do the admin the way that we want it to be done, but also can take all of the admin, or as much as possible.
It was our like trial, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a
it's scary taking somebody on. You've got you've got holiday to pay for, you've got maternity to think about, you've got their well-being to think about. Are they stressed? Are they? Oh, it's another whole level of it.
Too much for me.
This is it. So I did not sleep for months, did I? When we took our first admin, I kept waking up in the night and be like,
I just
hey,
get
holiday
messages.
we have to give you.
I just get messages at like 4 a.m. like, did we check the holiday and how many hours they need? I'm like, yes, we've done it. It's there. Don't worry. It's just like, but are we sure?
Every day I just didn't sleep, but we did that, and it wasn't through TMG at the time, so I don't think it was in offer at the time, but it was something along that line, and we kind of did that to see how our business changed and how you were as an advisor before you then took that next step. So I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, it's just that big leap, isn't it?
It's scary. I feel very adult that we have staff working for us, and I don't think I'm old enough.
We still very much have
not old
imposter
enough.
syndrome, because there's a lot that goes with it, and sometimes still I'm like when I do the wages at the end of the month, and I'm like, oh, I'm paying somebody's wages, like what? And then exactly the same thing happens the next month when I'm like, oh, I'm still paying somebody's wages. And you just don't. It takes a while to get out of that mindset, but I couldn't imagine the business now without the admin. No, I don't know how we did that first year with.
We cried, we drank a lot of wine.
A lot of wine.
There's a team. Fell out, all of those things.
It's really interesting though, and you've already answered this by what you were just saying, but the amount of advisors I speak to that think they want admin support but don't know if it's the right time, and might try the ad hoc just to see if it's something they like either relinquishing control of, if it's something that works for them. And it's really interesting saying that you tried that and then realised that you wanted it for your own, so you could tailor them to your business. But
we very quickly realised that, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think part of the reason we realised that was because the admin that we kind of took on that ad hoc basis was not, the lady that did it wasn't necessarily used to doing the admin that we wanted them to do. So she was a bit more like writing suitability letters, like compliance, compliance-y stuff. Whereas we do that ourselves, like, that's part of the advice process. Ours is more about kind of getting it to application and then passing it over so they can follow the process through.
It's like a case progression kind of thing.
Yeah, it's either one thing or another. You're either gonna do your admin and power through it yourself, or you want somebody that's experienced and knows exactly what they're doing, and you build that relationship.
Yeah.
I've done admin for a previous company, managed an admin team, and I think that between the two of you, it's like us between supervisors and advisors. If that doesn't work and you've not got that there, that's where it starts to break down.
Yeah.
So I think being patient to bring the right person in or try and use admin is massive. Obviously yours were very experienced. I previously worked with their admin. Yeah.
Yes. But it was when we took her on, we had, so it was a work from home, flexible 18 hours, works around school time and things. We had over 300 applicants for the job. Wow. We took a HR guy on to go through those CVs, thankfully. But then the second time, again, it was over like 600 for the second. So there's definitely a market for people wanting, if it's working from home and doing those things. But I'm glad that we trialled it in the way that we trialled it, to then realise, because what we might want as a business might be completely different to what you want as a business. So we trialled what works for us and what we want to give our clients. And then that's when we made that decision to take somebody on. Didn't sleep for 6 months, but made the decision. Still not sleeping.
So obviously across all of you here, we've got varying degrees of experience. Some of you have just launched their AR, or maybe in the last 12 months. Some of you have been around a little bit longer in terms of industry-wise. How do you feel about the statement, everyone else knows what they're doing? Because I'm interested to hear it from varying degrees of experience. Kayleigh, where are you sitting on that one?
I feel like everybody else does know what they're doing. It's difficult because, again, I think you have that imposter syndrome, don't you? Like, am I good enough? But hold on a minute, I've done all my qualifications, and doing CMAP doesn't give you the tools that you need really to be an advisor. I learned a lot from it, sure, but does it help me be a mortgage advisor? Probably not.
Probably not the sectional unit trust.
No.
Because obviously that's really relevant.
There's a lot, isn't there? So yeah, and the thing is, you don't know what you don't know. So without the support from the WhatsApp groups, Facebook pages, I think it would be one hell of a struggle to continue. But I'm really lucky that I've got some advisors within TMG that I just send a little text to, and it might just be a quirky case that, I mean, your normal vanilla cases are fine. They're like, you know what you're doing with those. It's when you get like the abnormalities, the really bad adverse that you're like, I really want to help this person. There's got to be a way for me to do it. How do I do it? And then you lean on others then, don't you? And you learn from everyone else's knowledge. Like, have you had a case similar? Where would you start with this one? So yeah, it can feel like everybody knows a lot more than me. But I'm learning my way. In every case that you get, I think it just gives you those tools. And the thing is, coming from the police background, I love a good investigation. I'm like,
so you're on it.
This is it. Give me those quirky cases, because I will find you the answer. If the answer's there, I'll find it. And that's where I've kind of found my forte. It's only when I've got to like the end point and I'm like, I run it past 10 people now and I've gone to every single lender, and it's like, oh God, actually there's not an answer for this one. I'm really sorry, I've done the best.
But the satisfaction when you do find that answer, you're like, nailed it.
Yeah, and when you call the client as well, I mean, obviously I'm used to helping people at their worst time. You don't get any thanks for that.
No.
And now helping people with a really happy moment in their lives, it's like making that phone call. Yeah, I've got you someone who'll take it, and you can get your mortgage and you can buy the house that you're renting. You're not going to be homeless. And it's like, wow, actually, yeah, I did a good job there. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's interesting though, listening to your speak. Like, you're within your first 2 years currently. But then you've got Lauren here saying that she's got imposter syndrome, certain elements of her business.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much a job where you learn on the job, because you get CMAP will give you the basics of this is what a mortgage is, this is what an interest rate is, but actually on the day-to-day, it's all about communication. So speaking to the lenders, speaking to the client, making sure you're getting the right information. And even now, like, me and Kelly will still message each other like, I've got this case, I've got no idea, like, have you seen one like this before? Have you seen one like that before? Because there's always going to be something that comes up that you're like,
every single let to buy case on my desk.
Yeah. So every time she gets a let to buy, she's like, right.
Let to buy, I have to draw my houses out and I write the numbers down and I'm like, Lauren.
And then she messages me like, right,
don't know why.
It
Like,
just it is that.
and I know how to do them, but I just
sometimes though you get into your own head, or like you think that would seem too simple. So is that right?
Yeah.
Or like where did that figure come from? Like why have I written that down? But it's always going to be, and I think like we were saying earlier, so when me and Kayleigh first started, we had each other that we could bounce off. We were sat in an office, so a lot of it was, this client's just, told me they've got this situation, and have you seen that before? And it'd be like, yes, try this lender, try that lender. Oh, this one was similar. But then now, because we've kind of progressed a little bit further down, and we've got staff, and a new broker just joined us, that you then get imposter syndrome for something different. Because you're like, I know how to be a mortgage broker, but now how do I be a manager or
business owner, like social media content,
marketing? There's so many
HR, IT, all of it.
I think when you're in a building with someone as well, or in an office, again, I have to touch on this with my advisors all the time. When you're a one person firm and you're on your own and you're in your house continuously, you have to build them support mechanisms around you, because if you don't, you're going to drive yourself insane. And I think it's even down to, and you guys will probably realise this, and we do, definitely working in the same office, but you can gauge somebody's mood, or if they need help, or if they're sinking, or whatever it might be. We sometimes walk past each other and we'll look at each other and instantly we're like, right, okay, Bex, do you want a cup of coffee?
Are you taking
And I'm not really a hugger, so I don't really offer that. I'm one of them. I'm like,
gonna have
such
to
a caring nature. Do you want a hug? If you do, let me go
someone
find
else.
Definitely. I think on the back of that, and I think we do, we question ourselves too often. I think we do, and we get to a point where my next statement, this is where I'll go, and I'm going to you, Beth, because again we touched on it earlier. So do you think this will ever happen? And if so, at what stage? So one day I'll feel like I've made it.
I have, haven't I? Probably not, no, but I think that's because it's always the next thing. I'm at the point now, obviously, I'm not saying my kids have grown up. Obviously, 1 and 3 is not grown up, but they are the kids anymore.
They're independent.
I mean, there's only one in nappies, so we're halfway there. I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's always about growth, isn't it? So I think part of it is I probably care, as we all do. It's a caring job in a different kind of way. Obviously, we're not nurses, but we care for people's finances. But I think it's always next step. So now I'm at the point where do I go now? How do I grow? So exactly like you said, it's okay, well, I'm doubting myself here. Well, now I'm on the next step, doubt myself here. And then it's at what point does it stop? I don't know. I'll let you know in 10 years when I look to retire.
I know exactly how yours is going to go.
Oh dear. Let me know.
Just leave it now.
I know. Yeah.
I've just not shared it with you yet.
Exciting. Can't wait to see it. So no, I don't think I sit well with comfortable. I think I always want to be pushing myself and always want to be, oh my God, what's going on now?
I think this business is so fast paced in the industry as well, isn't it? If you sit still,
you feel like
other people are coming in and will take your place, or it's one of them. It's how do you?
I just can't let go. And hearing you guys talk about the admin side there, quite interesting. Probably talk to you after about that, but it is interesting. But I just think I am such a control freak. I would rather be working all of the hours and do it myself, but then I'm never going to get to the next step. But then the internal argument of, well, I don't want to manage people. I can't even manage myself.
But genuinely, that's why it's getting the right person. And I think that's why I didn't sleep for so long, because it was...
But you don't know until you've done it.
No.
That's the difference.
And you have to give your clients, your babies that you've built a relationship with X amount of time, not give them, but you have to allow someone else to take it. And that is hard. It is.
I'm sure I will get there, but...
It'll be the best thing you do.
Yeah.
100%.
Also, I think...
And if it goes wrong, it's not on me.
Just like disclaimer.
This has been filmed.
I think we're all really we find it very difficult to celebrate success as well. Like my husband will say to me like, "Oh my god, aren't you proud?" Like whatever that might be. I'll be like, "Yeah, but I've got like this to do now and this to do." He's like,
"That's me."
It's never enough though, is it? It's never enough. We're like high achieving, which is great, but there's also this constant pressure that you can always do more, and
that's what makes success. That's what I tell myself.
Exactly.
Never.
That's what's driving.
Never drop the ball. Ever.
Exactly. And that makes us perfectionists, which makes us good at our jobs, but also makes it really hard on ourselves as well.
Yeah, also makes it hard to survive.
Exactly. But yeah, I think we just sometimes you have to actually look back at where you've been to understand like how far you've come, which sounds really cheesy. And I don't know where I was going to go with that. But it is really hard to like take a moment in time and be like, actually, like I did that, right? But I still I literally think it for a second, then I'm like, right, next thing. Like,
it happens so gradually, doesn't it? I look at like the person I was 5 years ago, pre-kids, pre-business, obviously I was just starting out, and I think actually I'm a completely different person, but because it's happening so quickly but yet so gradually, which makes no sense.
It does,
but it does. It's like this industry to a T. So I just think it is constant, constant.
I think again, this is flowing quite naturally because it just keeps going into the next point.
It's a pretty cute. I'm not written on my
No, but I don't know where your conversation's going, which scares me sometimes.
Yeah, reins in.
I'll prioritise myself more. So in what that could mean, anything different to anybody. Like everybody's different is what I'm trying to say. And it could be one thing for Bex, one thing for Kayleigh. So I'll come to you, Lauren. What do you want to do to prioritise yourself more moving forward?
That's a difficult one, actually. I think it's like we spoke about earlier, it's balance. So it's the little things, like we were saying earlier with Kelly, is getting your nails done, taking that little time out to just go and make sure that, you know, you're doing the things that make you feel good, having your hair done, that kind of thing. But also taking the time that if you are starting to feel burnt out, you're feeling tired, just do something that you enjoy. Do something that resets you, makes you feel good. Spa day. Me and Kelly haven't had spa day for a while. We probably should, because that's a nice week.
Yeah.
There we go.
Not a problem. She'll get my girls on.
Like you've just been saying, all of you, that, you know, and it is, I guess, them first few years, it's especially difficult, I think, to take the time, because you are, I need to get this done, I can't stop, I can't slow down, I need to get my leads in, I need to get my lead sources set up, everything else. But it is also very, very important to just take that time for yourself. Sit and have a glass of wine at night instead of, you know, at 8 p.m. That's my cut off. I'm going to have a little glass of wine to myself.
Don't have a little glass of wine.
don't have a little glass of wine. Have a big glass of wine. Sit in the bath and drink the whole bottle. But no, just do something like that. I think not just when you're burnt out, but at something small every day before you go to bed or whatever, when you get up in the morning, just to remind yourself that you're not just work.
Yeah.
And I also think that sometimes, flip that on its head, although work is very, very difficult, sometimes looking after kids and personal life is actually hard. Going to work is a break. So if me sitting at my laptop at 3 a.m. is me having a break.
This is me having my wine.
You and my kids are old enough. Like, and I'm going to be absolutely lost. I'm going to have to get 12 more jobs.
And actually, like, hats off to you guys, because we don't have kids. I don't know how you do it. Like, I genuinely don't know how you... I don't know how you find...
The thing is, though, you just do it because even if you don't have kids, everyone's
you just know.
People have different pressures. They have, like, family that they support or whatever. Like, you just do. You have no choice, but that's your life.
I think that's what it is. It's the... For me personally, I'm very stubborn, and if I put in my head to something, you won't know that about me.
It's brand new information.
It's one of them that if you've put your mind to something, I'm making that work, and we'll do what we need to do to make it work. And you do push yourself, but you've got to look after your health. You've got to look after. We're not getting any younger. You've got to look after yourself. You've got to do those things, and whatever that looks like to you, whether it's spending time with the kids, whether it's getting your nails on, whatever it is, you have to do it, because otherwise you're not looking after you, and then what's it all for?
I think you framed that in a different way of, do you think that there's anything you've had to sacrifice to make this career move work? and I suppose that's quite a deep question, but it could even be surface level, like I didn't have time to have my nails done, or I didn't make
Sanity.
time.
Well, I had to
That's my
decide
sanity.
between dyeing my hair and doing my nails for this. So
Oh, I don't sacrifice this.
when I did my hair whilst trying to sort bedtime.
I did my makeup in the car.
I think a bit of a... We haven't sacrificed this, but our friendship has changed going into business together.
Definitely.
Because we were friends.
Yeah.
And now you
And we
hate
had
each other.
nights out. You said it. We had nights out. We'd go on an annual Ibiza trip, and like our relationship was very different. And then we had to learn to communicate as business partners. And I don't think we've sacrificed our friendship.
No,
We're
of course.
obviously we're still friends, but it's very, very different
Yeah,
now.
it's very different.
So as us for kind of being together, that is very, very different.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a sacrifice, because I genuinely also, I don't know how you also do it on your own. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. There are so many things that I do better than you do better than me, we rely on each other for, we remember things. I'll message and I'll say, oh, we haven't done this, and I was like, okay, I've got it, and we're like, it's good, or like vice versa. So
I'm glad you did.
Just like, I've written it down, and we're good. So we know each other's strengths and we know each other's whatever, but I would say part of our sacrifice is that I don't think we realised going into this
How much
that dynamic. Yeah.
No, I would fully agree with that. Our friendship was very, very different before. But equally, I don't think I couldn't have done it on my own. Like when you guys talking about being like one-man bands and things, like I don't know how you do that, because it's the having someone to bounce off, having somebody that's going through the same thing, that, you know, if Kelly's panicking, I'll calm her down. If I'm panicking, she'll calm me down. And
Then you'll just go through that.
and then having
But
that,
having someone to
having somebody,
And also
making
there's
sure
no
you've got that.
comparison, because if I've never had working with someone like that.
true.
Although I've had it in a different kind of business, but I suppose you've nothing to kind of compare, and you're just like, right, well, I'll crack on. I always think, right,
You just
I'll
have
do
to
it.
keep going, don't
Yeah,
you? You just have to, whether it's on your own, whether you've got support, like whoever it's with you, you have to, or this doesn't work.
And ultimately, the rewards are really, really good.
Yeah.
Financially, the rewards are really, really good. So we can sit here and kind of not moan about it. Obviously, this is what this whole conversation is about. But ultimately, if it was that bad, we wouldn't be doing it.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
It is so rewarding in so many different aspects.
Yeah.
I think it's what you put your hat on, don't you? I mean, I know what works personally for me is if I've got a lot going on or there's something going on personally, and I'm like, right, I need to go into work today, I need to get my head down, I need to focus and do what I need to do. If I put my makeup on, put a smart outfit on, make myself look a bit nice, that's my like switch.
Mean business.
As into go, do you know what, right?
It completely changes the way you feel.
Like I've got my hat on now. That's kind of what I need to do. And it's again going back to the thing where when people say, "How did you do that?" I had that all the time having twins. How did you do that?
I bet you get asked that all the time.
Yeah.
But then I just answer and I say, well, no idea, because they were my firstborn. So I never had
there's
one.
no comparison.
I didn't have it to compare anything to. So to me, that were normal life, which were goddamn hectic. But that were just me. I didn't know any different. So it's like,
You had to.
no idea. You just get up every morning and make sure they stay alive for another day.
Feel that.
My firstborn is furry with 4 legs.
Keep it that way, it's much easier. Actually, that's not my dog.
I also have twin trout.
In preparation for this podcast, when Danielle was putting it together, we did pop something in the Wildman Mortgages UK group on Facebook and just asked for their thoughts. We gave them a bit of a brief of what we're going to be doing and just asked them for, any thoughts, comments, statements, questions, anything like that. And we've plucked a few out of there, and we have covered a few of these bits anyway, but there's one that's making me laugh, and I'll give you context in a minute because of you, Beth. So obviously for the ladies with kids in the room, there's a comment on here that says, navigating maternity leave whether you're self-employed. How did mat leave impact your client retention, and how did you find building cash flow and pipeline again? And I suppose that's more gauged towards yourself and you, but we know about you, and I'll let you speak in a second. Did you have... What did you think about your maternity leave? Did you manage to take time away?
Yeah, so when I was actually on maternity leave, I was actually employed. I was a sales manager in a mortgage company. But I had previously been an advisor, so I was kind of doing a bit of a hybrid role. I actually at the time had a couple of advisors that I trusted with everything. And luckily my best friend actually worked at that firm.
Oh,
so
good.
she just had my back basically. But you don't really get maternity leave. So like with my second one, she started nursery at like 7 or 8 months, and then I went back to work. I think it's a bit of a trade-off because you don't want to lose those relationships, but from my experience I have customers that have known me for like 10 years through all the different roles, and that they always find me or they always, and like I know their children, like I FaceTime with them and like their children know me. It's like
that's a testament.
Yeah, it's lovely. So I feel like if you've built those relationships with those customers, they will find you, but there is a pressure definitely for women in this industry. Like I know a lot of mortgage advisors that have had like 3 months off and probably been working in between. It takes a lot to let somebody else look after your clients, which is what we were saying about with the admin and things. So having that support, having someone that can like basically back you up, and trying to actually resist going back so quickly. I think you do need to have that time. I think when people say about like having children, it takes you like a year to get back to yourself. I mean, I have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm still not back to myself, so that's a load of rubbish. So yeah, you just have to try and put yourself first in that instance. Like you've got to physically heal, but also mentally heal. Like having a baby is such a big shift, isn't it, in your life? Like you don't just think about yourself anymore. Like actually yourself is bound last. Like you've got to like keep that human alive. And it's like and every time I think with children that I've just got it, like something changes in their development, I just do not have it. What is that? And I've been told, you'll probably tell me. Exactly. So I think with maternity leave though, it's having people you can trust to support your clients at that time, so that you feel that you can let go a little bit, but those clients will always find you again. They'll still be there. They want to work with you. I'm sure you guys have got like so many clients that are like, they almost feel like family. They've been around you for so long. But so put yourself first, but have someone you can trust, and then go back when you're ready, but they'll still be there.
Beth, how long did you have off maternity leave?
You're going to tell me 2 days, aren't you?
So I was in hospital for 5 days with my firstborn. I did my first mortgage at day 6.
That's why it made me laugh.
I just knew.
There was actually a woman in my one of the mortgage businesses I worked at, and she was in labour and still putting mortgage applications in.
I had planned C-section, so you're not allowed your laptop.
Can't get that.
I did try. It's like, just 1 minute.
That is dedication.
I was saying though, the maternity leave is sometimes it's one of those things that keeps me awake at night. I think, oh God, my kids are going to hate me, but my kids are potatoes at that point. Like they're not. You want to be. You want to be present as kind of, they start moving and doing something other than crying, booing and feeding. So I suppose my compromise to myself is that I'm going to be present throughout. I'm never going to go back full-time work, definitely, but I'm never going to go back to that 9 to 5, and I can do it flexibly around them. But yes, I didn't have that maternity, but I never have that impending doom of, oh my God, I've got to go back to work and leave my babies. Like, I'm never going to leave. I'm there throughout. I'm just a bit.
They leave you first, I will put it out there.
No, not mine. I'm not good.
But mine's 18.
Wonderful.
My eldest, that is.
Mine had been at the dad's for the whole weekend, and then came back to me yesterday and literally popped their head in and were like, oh Mum, we've really missed you. Like genuinely, they were enthusiastic. Gave me a cuddle, and then we're like, oh, we're gonna meadow all with his friends, and then we're gonna go to a sleepover. And I'm like, bye.
That will make me so sad. I want them to be close, but also at the same time give me space. How's that?
It's worse when you've had one of them days and you walk in, and especially at the age that mine are now, and something worth a bit of gossip's happened at school and they can't wait to tell you, and all you need is half an hour of silence. And just I sometimes do have to say, can you come back in half an hour?
My listening is
the moment's gone, and then they'll try and tell, like, then I'll ask them and they're like, no, I don't want to tell you now.
And they're like, oh, I miss
Sacrifice the gossip.
That's something I miss about actually being in an office. Or I miss the drive home. The drive home is wind, and I always say this to Matthew. I think you are so lucky. I mean, less so now, but when they were kind of babies and just crying all the time, you get just silence for like half an hour driving to and from work. I would give anything for that. Anything. So that I think that wind down is important, because I suppose my kids will come back from nursery or whatever, and I'm at home, and it's straight back into okay, finish. Hi, like new hats, motherhood. So I think that's something I won't say I miss. I mean, the positives outweigh that completely, but that is something in terms of winding down that you don't get.
You do get the decompression time, do you?
Yeah, no, you just
You step out and then you're straight into like dinner.
Yeah.
Feeding the many mouths that are staring at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I think unless you've got any other points to touch on, I think we'll probably finish on a final thought from me. I hope this is a little bit out there for you, but I'm going to ask you to think of a word. If you was doing a podcast right now on your life, how you cope with everything, how you balance everything, what would be like the one word or the small phrase of what your podcast would be called? And this is putting you on spot.
This is definitely putting us on the spot.
And I'm coming to Beth first.
You owe me a glass of wine. Overstimulated.
Good word.
So I feel probably 23 out of the 20. Dead. So yeah.
Is that the 1 hour you're asleep?
The 1 hour that I'm tossing and turning. But yeah, overstimulated in every aspect. Personal, work, everything. In a good way sometimes.
Kayleigh?
I don't know. I would say my drive outweighs the chaos. So let's go with chaotic drive.
Oh, good one.
Just thought of that.
Get it in marketing.
Yes. Did I actually just see you go? Yeah.
I got praise, so I like apply my praise.
That was a natural reaction as well. That is.
When I think I've done something good.
Never grow your head. You got that down.
I don't want to follow that. Oh, sorry.
You're gonna have to, I'm afraid.
I don't know. You heard that Adele song where she says I drink wine? Can I just go with the 3 words? I drink wine.
Absolutely. That is absolutely fine.
It's like a good podcast.
We could have a 3-hour podcast of that.
I'll be overstimulated even doing it on my own.
Can you start doing the podcast?
Imagine how we'd all walk out of a overstimulated podcast.
We'd go straight into the I drink wine.
Nadine?
Oh no. This is where I overthink, so you've given me too much time to think about things like.
There you go.
Yeah. Something about the balance, trying to be balanced but unbalanced. Maybe just unbalanced.
Good one. Kayleigh?
I'm a little bit cringy.
Oh,
Right.
do it.
I'm going to be proud of myself. Yeah, I've gone from a completely different background. I didn't start off on the right foot with mortgages, and I could have easily given up at that point. I didn't, and I'm here, and I've got my own AR. So yeah,
Yeah, good
Well,
one.
proud
of you.
That is a very good way to wrap this up.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, so
Good we didn't end with me.
we want to say thank you very much for coming. It's been amazing listening to all your stories, journeys, ups, downs, lows.
I feel like we could have sat here for hours.
Yeah, but we have got time afterwards, and we can have a glass of wine.
To drink wine.
Yeah.
We're now going to Lauren's podcast.
So thank you very much, ladies. I hope you've got something out of it, and just continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you.